Hey everybody, it's Hans here with Anglers Covey, and welcome back to our Bug of the Month tying video. Today we're going to go over tying the Iron Sally. This thing is a great summertime nymph pattern, perfect for a hopper dropper. It is a little tricky with the wire and the materials, but after you get a couple of them down, you'll probably have it dialed. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we're going to tie this Iron Sally here. We've got your standard nymph hook in the vise, size 14, 2.8mm tungsten bead, and we're going to start off with some Vivis 14-aught in the light Cahill color. Before that, we're going to add some 020 lead wire behind the bead, probably about 4 or 5 wraps here. Wiggle that wire to break it off, tuck it up into that bead, and break off the tag. We're going to start to jam our thread behind that lead to keep that from moving anywhere on us. And we can trim off our tag here. For the tail, we're going to use these golden, or the yellow Goose Biots. 2 of them. So I'm going to walk my thread back down to about where it's hanging even with the barb. You can do these both at once. I prefer to do one at a time. Just easier to get them to sit how I want. And I'm looking for about half the length of the shank of the hook or so. So one on the near side of the hook. We're going to put one on the far side as well, trying to make sure it's the same length. Anchor those down and just move your thread forward. Lock those into place. You can trim off the little butts here. If you push on them a little bit, they'll give you that nice split tail look. Okay, we're going to add some wire now. I've got Brassie sized gold wire. I'm going to attach this to the far side of the hook shank with some thread wraps, and then move my thread back forward. I'm going to lay some thread over these lead wire wraps here, keep those in place, and then we're going to add the South Scud back 2mm in black. Secure that right on top of the shank of the hook here. Give it some nice solid wraps on top of that wire, and we're going to stretch it as we work rearward. Making sure we're keeping it on top of the hook shank. Okay, and then get your thread back forward, and we're going to start wrapping this wire. So we're going to do 2 wraps of wire, and on the 3rd one I'm going to pull the Scud back over and capture it with wire, and then 2 wraps again, and then capture the Scud on, or capture that Scud backing on the 3rd. Got 2 wraps there. Pull that Scud back up, grab it with the wire on the 3rd, trying to make sure you're not pushing it over to the far side of the hook shank. Okay, and then we'll pull it back. Do another 2 wraps. Give some tension to that. Grab it with the 3rd. We're going to keep doing this till we get to where about the lead is. Okay, we're looking good. Oh, I missed it a little bit on that one. We're going to back up just a tad, making sure I get that wrap right where I want it. See here. Okay, back up, re-grab this one. There we go. And right in front. Okay, this will be about the end of the wire portion. Get that, pull the scud back, bring the wire up so I can grab it with my thread. Sometimes that scud back can be a pain. Oh, looks like I loosened that wrap. We're going to back off just a tad here again. We'll just grab it on top of the scud. We can reposition that where we need it in just a sec here. We want to keep that scud back on top. We'll lay a couple red wraps in front of it to keep anything from moving on me, and then helicopter the wire off. Okay, I'm going to fold the scud back, wrap it down about a third of the way back, and we're going to add our legs. This is going to be black Krystal flash. So we'll get a piece of this, and we're going to, I like to just point it between my vise and my thread so I can grab it, pull it up and over to the near side. You can always trim these to length later. And we'll do another one on the far side here, and secure those your thread on the side of the hook shank. Okay, and I'm going to trim these a little bit just to keep them from getting in my way. We'll do the final trim at the end. Okay, now we're going to add some dubbing. Whatever kind of yellow dubbing you have will work fine. We're going to use STS Trilobal Dub in gold here. I'm going to try to make a nice tight noodle with this dubbing. We'll start wrapping, and if we need to add more, we can always add more. Tighten up that dubbing noodle a little bit. That'll be great, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to pull that scud back over top. Grab it with our thread a couple times here. Sweep those legs out of the way. Nice tight wraps to make sure it's not going to slip out. Fold that scud back backwards. A couple more wraps. And then I'm going to stretch it and cut not the whole thing at once, because I want to try to leave as little of a tag as possible. So cut about half or a third of it, and then come stretch again, cut again, and that'll leave you with no tag on that scud back. From here we're just going to go ahead and do a whip finish. And then throw another little half hitch in there. That'll keep that all nice and locked. Trim your thread nice and close. And the legs, about half the length, or the rear one's about the length of the body. I like to do the front ones just a little bit shorter. And there's the Iron Sally. Great little yellow Sally nymph. Alright, so that's the yellow Sally. So like I was saying, it's a great little summertime nymph. We have all the materials here at Anglers Covey, so come on in the shop and grab some for yourself. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll see you on the next one.